And welcome inside the backstage pass. Of course, counting down those days to Country Radio Seminar. Will be there broadcasting live from the Omni Hotel February 28th to March the 1st. And of course, out there too, presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey and the Caden GordonShow.com. Today's best country mix too. And of course, all made possible out there by Jewelry by Tommy, KKTC True Country 99.9, and our friends at High Tide Country .net. Well, it's like the Texas two-step today. Our thanks to McKenna Faith Winters for coming on the show here too as well. And of course, out there, the Sports Guys podcast.com, Grand Slam of sports and music. We do it all here because we just cover it. That's what we do here. And pleased to welcome on another featured artist. So a friend of mine reached out to me the other day and he said, "You've got to hear this young lady sing." And I said, "It's Sunday. I got to take a day off." He goes, "Nope. In your line of work, radio press, you just keep pushing along." When I heard this next guest, Laurah Louisa, here on the show, I was like blown away by a Broken Window Serenade acoustic version she's put out there across all the digital platforms. Laurah, welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have you here too. See what I get for watching YouTube on weekends? You see just not just the shows you watch, you get introduced to great musicians. Well, hey, tell me a little bit of the backstory. I mean, a lot of folks may not know the sound of Laurah Louisa, but I really read the story, thought it was fantastic. What was the connection to music growing up? Tell me about that.
So I'm from Nicholasville, Kentucky, and I grew up in church, so that's where my love for singing came in. I come from a very musical family, and I started playing classical guitar when I was about, I think I was 11, and that wasn't for me, so I put that down for a little bit, and then I picked it back up at about age 15 when I was going through my first heartbreak. And I just kind of fell in love with the art of putting pain and story into music. And it was kind of like therapy for me. So that's where my love for music came in. And I have a lot of people, I don't know if you've heard of the town Louisa, but that's where like Tyler Childers is based, Chris Stapleton, a bunch of other people who are in the music industry, and they've really just helped me to take off and get gigs, and I've been very thankful for that.
When you're growing up, you look at all the artists, especially now, they're doing their thing out there too. What kind of made you, what ticked, what sound, what was it, what on the radio? You listen to some of those great country artists, maybe the early 2000s. Who were some of the musical influences?
I really like Patty Loveless. She is probably in the top 5, and then I like Loretta Lynn a lot.
Okay.
Chris Stapleton, he's not exactly old, but I do like his music a lot. Tyler Childers.
Okay, all right, I like that too. You got a good little variety of everything in there. Was it? And you mentioned Patty Loveless, other '90s country influences that may have done it for you too. You mentioned Loretta Lynn, of course, that's more '70s, '80s, but just fantastic. You can go on and on with the '90s country, and we could talk '90s country till we're done with the show today. Tell me about some of the other artists that may have shaped you as an artist today.
I really like some older, like Randy Travis.
Okay.
I like him a lot. I like just went blank. What is his name?
Maybe George Strait in there. Anything that's
I do like him. He's more of like Texas country, but I do like Texas country too.
Okay.
I like a lot of Appalachian.
All right. I like that too. And of course, a lot of the Texas country I grew up with down here too, and radio and stuff, and played it for a lot of years in my career. So a lot of those guys, Randall King and Josh Ward, and actually I'm going to see Josh Ward this week. So I'm actually going to tell Josh Ward about you as an artist because he's got 9 number ones at Texas Country Radio. So that's going to be, I'm going to see Josh, good friend of mine, coming up. He's playing in my backyard here in Beaumont, Texas, down here coming up this weekend at one of my former sponsors, Honky Tonk Texas. Great place to go out there and watch live music. I mean, it goes on and on. Randy Rogers, Kevin Fowler, Wade Bowen, and just so many of those great Texas artists don't even have to leave the state. And that really gives a lot of people the encouragement out there to pursue this dream. Talk about some of the challenges that you face getting into this industry, you know, once and probably still is male dominated too. But you see this movement now of Carly Pierce, Lainey Wilson, Ashley McBride, and the names go on and on with this current era of female artistry. Does that motivate you to kind of want to, you know, climb that ladder and get to where they're at?
Yeah, it does. They're very good influencers, and Lainey Wilson especially. I like her a lot. Yeah.
Laney's one of the best out there too. Love her. Well, let's talk about this latest single. Of course, I love Whiskey Myers. That's the video I got to see with Broken Window Serenade too. You play a beautiful guitar. You sing beautiful vocals. Was this one that you kind of wanted to just remake and kind of put out? Take me through the process of this particular single.
Yeah, I just heard the song, and I actually saw someone on not Instagram, it was TikTok, and they were doing the harmonica for that. And so I bought one off of Amazon, and I just tried it, and I liked it, so I went for it.
When it comes to guitar, walk me through the story of learning guitar. Did you teach yourself? Was it a course? Was it kind of a crash course online to learn chords, things like that? Because you're very gifted at it. You seem very natural.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I started off with classical guitar, and he didn't really teach me any, like, I can't read music. I can kind of read notes or chords, but he did help me a lot with getting a good feel in finger picking. I can't use a pick. I'm terrible at that. But so it's a lot of it is playing by ear.
Okay, just learning through ear too as well, and that's the visual cues, the auditorial cues out there too as well. Learning by ear, and of course feel, touch, things like that too. And I know a lot of people that can't really do and use the pick out there for whatever reason. They got to have the bare hands on it, kind of like get those hands, get those fingers dirty too as well. We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come and talk about Lord Knows Why. I just love the title of that song that Laurah put out too. At the same time, and of course another one. September Nights. It's an acoustic version you can check out across all the digital platforms out there too, and a whole lot more here on the Backstage Pass. But you know what? I got to be good. All the gentlemen out there, we talk sports so here on the show sometimes, especially during football season. And Valentine's Day is coming up too as well. And there's one place to get that jewelry. I don't know if Laurah likes jewelry, but if there's a person in her life too as well, you might want to pay attention to this. So it's around the corner. The big Valentine's Day, looking for that perfect gift for your spouse, friend, family member. Jewelry by Tommy. It's got you covered. You can email burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. burleysystem@yahoo.com. Jewelry by Tommy, newest addition to the Backstage Pass. We'll have another word from a few more sponsors there. Come back. Laurah Louisa on the show here on the Backstage Pass, KKTC True Country 99.9, hightidecountry.net, and always at the Sports Guys podcast.com. Hang tight. More to come.
The Caden Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thecadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thecadengordonshow.com.
The bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show, Laurah Louisa joining us here. Just learned about her the other day, and glad I did. Went over to a friend's house, said you got great artists you can check out, and we checked out some of the music there we're talking about here now on the Backstage Pass. So take me through a little bit of the making of Lord Knows Why. First of all, I love that title, because I think we always ask that title in some form or fashion in our daily life, because he does know why, and sometimes we don't. The song is very good out there, too. Give me a little backstory of that one.
Yeah, so I wrote that one back last year, and that song is just kind of about how I didn't really know, like, I guess I knew of Jesus, and like you always hear about him, you grow up in church, and a lot of times when you're growing up in church, it's easy to just get into this routine of just going, singing, listening to the sermons, and you don't really know him personally. So I wrote that song when I just kind of was going through this hard time, and I got to really personally know him, and he changed my life. And yeah, that's what that song is about. That's why I wrote that song.
Talk about the writing, kind of where you want to go as a writer. Feels like a lot of people kind of feel like it's therapy or that personal connection to something out there or going through some tough times, having lived it to be able to write it. Kind of where do you want to go as a writer and your writing style for your music?
Yeah. So it used to be just like I would write songs that weren't really storytelling, but as I've gotten older and gone through more things in life, I've really found a beauty in putting story into songs. And nowadays, I don't really write a song unless it's got a story to it, and just also seeing how it has helped other people too. That's a whole new meaning to why I write music.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that too, and also loved another acoustic version of it called "The Sun." I believe that was the title of that one too. Let's get a little information on this one, and is there a personal connection there too? Because I love that acoustic version. I really did.
Thank you. Um, yeah, I mean, that one was just kind of about I don't think I was going through anything at the time, but I
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of thinking back on some past breakups, and I was like thinking of how like the sun in the sky, like it wakes up every morning at the same time. It's never late. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
men can be late and
Yeah,
women.
I vouch for that. We can, no doubt about it. We can be late as well. I know I probably already answered the question here too, or asked the question, but some people just tuning in, and all the way from England is David too. You just never know where you're going to get somebody watching the show. He asked this too as well, and be good to, I guess, repeat the answer too. Watching from Cumbria, artists have inspired your music, and of course, instruments there. She does play guitar.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Patty Loveless has been a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Childers, Chris Stapleton, who've been some other ones, uh, Randy Travis, um, Sarah Evans.
Oh, okay.
I like her a lot. Um, I don't know where
Good
I'm going.
friend. Yeah,
Blank.
great friend of the show. She's good friends with Sarah Evans. I am on this brand here on the show, so she's definitely. Yeah, next time I talk to Sarah Evans, I think I might have to put a little word for Laurah Louisa and just kind of just tell Sarah about this young lady who's super talented down there too as well. Again, the Broken Window Serenade. I want to ask you about the connection there, and of course the Whiskey Myers thing, because it's a really good. Talked about the harmonica and the making of this song, and really telling a story with this too. You mentioned Texas country. Whiskey Myers, huge influence too.
I've listened to a few of his songs, but like I said, I do love country, Texas country music, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to a bunch of it. But yeah, I do like his music a lot.
Well, give me some. Now we're new year. Of course, hard to believe new month tomorrow. It's already a month gone.
Yeah.
February here tomorrow. Give me some goals and some long-term aspirations for 2024 and some things you're looking to accomplish.
Yeah, so I actually have an album, my first ever album coming out tomorrow.
Ooh, great timing.
I'm excited about that. And I'm going to try to put a single out every month of this year.
Okay.
And I've also got some shows coming up. I'll post more about that once it comes closer to time. But
Okay. So this album is tomorrow, February 1st. We're looking at.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a title for it you can say?
It's called The Reason I Sang.
Reason I Sing. How many songs are on this album?
12.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to be one of the first ones to tell you it's going to be across all platforms, right?
Yes.
All right. So go get this music. All right, folks. I've told you that several times. We interview the best of the best here on the Backstage Pass. When I say go get this music, go get this music. I cannot wait. I'll be one of the first ones to listen to this. Maybe at midnight tonight if I'm still working, but definitely tomorrow morning. Take the kid to school and say, you know what? We got to introduce her to some new tunes. I cannot wait to hear this. If you love Broken Window Serenade, you're going to love Laurah Louisa at this new 12-song album coming out tomorrow or tonight at midnight if you're awake like I am. Working some of the late hours out there too as well. We got to take another quick time out, of course, for our sponsors. They make the show possible here. Again, if you're looking for that jewelry, I tell folks out there you want to be good, don't sleep in the doghouse. If you're one of the guys out there too, Valentine's Day, February 14th, looking for that perfect gift for your spouse, your friend, or family member, jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. You can email burleysystem@yahoo.com buehle.com today to order out there. Burley System, BUEHRLE system at yahoo.com. Handcrafted for the perfect lady in your life or the significant other, spouse, friend, or family member. Make sure you give Tommy a holler. Say you talked about it and you heard about it here on the Backstage Pass when you order some of that great jewelry out there. A quick word from Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over at the Caden Gordon Show. More with Laurah Louisa and Rapid Fire is coming up here in a little bit on the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned for a lot more.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, that time slot, we record the shows Monday through Friday. During that time slot, we can always hear it. KKTC True Country 99.9, 7 nights a week, 10 Mountain Time on the station. And, of course, always hightidecountry.net. So, again, if you missed the video version, that's why we have a backup plan called the audio version there, too, here on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, out there, the Sports Guys Podcast.com. All the shows stay archived there if you ever miss one. And definitely we're looking forward to Country Radio Seminar coming up February 28th to March 1st in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll be out there and doing a lot of stuff as inquiries continue to come in, some live remotes. And one I can tell you about, the Wild Beaver Saloon, March the 1st on a Friday with the Backstage Pass. And, of course, out there, and a ton of artists. Get ready. If you want to show up and have a party, we're going to have a party out there, too. Some drinks, some specials, karaoke, and a fun time. The Wild Beaver Saloon, downtown Nashville, on Commerce Street with us here at the Backstage Pass, Friday, March 1st from 6 to 10. Spread the word out there, too. And, of course, the interviews at the Omni Hotel. Some great artists already booked. Pryor Baird, Scotty Hastings, and, of course, Marin Taylor, a great songwriter, and a whole lot more coming up there. Shenandoah is coming back to hang out with us at the Omni Hotel. Back here with Laurah Louisa on the Backstage Pass. New album is tomorrow, February 1st, as we change the calendar to February. I've got a birthday here. Laurah, you may be reminded, just talking about February coming up on the 23rd, and just keep getting older as we do out there too. And you got one coming up in April, I believe, too, right? Is that That's correct? Okay, she's going to turn the big 20. Cannot wait to wish I was back to the 20 again. I miss those days of being 20 years old. So hey, I like to have fun here to wrap up the program. I do a little thing, you've probably seen it, rapid fire, have a little fun skit, and of course ask some fun questions out there too. No right or wrong answers. You never know what's going to come your way too. All right, favorite shows to binge watch on whatever platform. What do you enjoy watching?
I am honestly not a big movie person. I don't really watch shows, but I did watch 1983.
Okay.
That was one.
That's a good
and
one.
I do like Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie, always a classic or two out there too. Any reality shows you get into to binge watch, like any other crime stuff or stuff like that?
I do like true crime.
Okay, a little true crime. Okay, any specific shows for that? CSI?
My mama watches that, but I don't.
CSI's a good one there too. I forget the one my in-laws watch, but they love it. From time to time, watch a lot of reruns of it. It'll probably hit me in a second, but that's one of those true crime series that they enjoy. Favorite foods to either cook or take out? What do you like?
I love Mexican food, and my favorite to make is chimichangas.
Chimichangas, all right too. I just got me a little grill, the George Foreman stuff that's been out there for a while. So we got to do some fish and shrimp and things like that. Trying to eat a little bit better is like on New Year's resolutions, things like that. But we say we're going to do it, but it never really happens. But I'm trying to cook a little more at home and just enjoy it. Tonight I got me some tilapia to throw in there and maybe some broccoli. So it's kind of a good meal to come out there. Of course, still that, you put the sauce on it and all that good stuff. It's just you can't eat fish plain with no seasoning on there too. All right. Are you a pizza fan? If you are, what toppings go on a pizza?
Pepperoni.
Just plain. It's rapid fire. She's got this down to a T. No doubt. Hey, pepperoni, plain Jane, nothing wrong with that too. I'm starting to see some of the artists say Hawaiian pizza, pineapple back on it. Like it's a thing with Canadian bacon. So yeah, I tried it, sweet and the salty. It's good, but it's not my everyday kind of thing
Yeah.
too. All right, favorite cartoons growing up. What were you into?
I watched a lot of PBS Kids.
Yeah, that's what
I watched.
my 4-year-old or soon to be 4-year-old birthday girl in April is, yes, PBS Kids, because keep it educational. And then she likes to go on the tablet with the app and download games and stuff like that to play and then watch other episodes. She's into this Daniel Tiger kick right now. Like that's a thing for her. It's been around for a long time. Of course, the remake of what Fred Rogers and what was the show? Not Sesame Street. Fred Rogers' Neighborhood, kind of the back in the day. I forget the actual name of it too, but she loves this Daniel Tiger stuff out there too as well. And it's very PBS Kids is very educational. All right, if you weren't going in the career of a musician or the path there, what other career occupation would you have chosen if not being a musician?
Probably a dentist.
All right, too as well. Like I said, she's showing off those pearly whites here on the show today too as well, which is good. A good dentist, and a lot of people start off like dental hygiene, then they go to be a dentist too as well. Is that a route you would have taken?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that too. I had a lot of friends who have gone to school for that too, and they make a lot more money than I do right now too, going into the dentistry side of things too, which I love so much. All right, dream stages to step on. I got to ask you, you're natural behind the microphone. Is it the Opry? Is it Red Rocks? Is it something? Give me some dream stages.
The Opry for sure.
All right. Well, if it ever happens, just remember us small people here at the Backstage Pass when that day occurs, because we'd love to follow that path as we always done. Yeah, I remember, I'll tell you a quick story about that too, because I remember it was December of 2020. I get a phone call, and there's this girl named Lainey Wilson that we talked about here on the show. And she got to interview with me on a show like this, and we talked to her. And I said, you're going to be big in the next few years. She was already on that path from Louisiana. And, well, the rest is history as of right now. ACMCMA's into all types of stuff now too as well. So get them while you can get them, because you never know. Super talent is out there just like yours too as well. New album comes out tomorrow from Laurah Louisa at the time. Make sure you guys download across all the digital platforms. You forget something, email us, comment box, whatever. We'll get it to you too as well. And definitely if you want to spell the name and have a little fun out there too, look for one of the up and coming rising emerging stars in country music right there too as well. Look no further than our guest today, Laurah Louisa. Hey, thanks so much for doing this on short notice. Looking forward to listening to this album in depth tomorrow. I cannot wait to give you some of the feedback from it, critique it, and of course, and just really just give some of the quotes for it. I know it's going to be fantastic. I haven't heard anything. All I needed to hear was on the digital streaming platforms as of right now. Best of luck with it, and of course, future goals and endeavors. And hey, let's have you come back and do this again if you want to, no doubt.
That'd be super fun. Love to do that.
Laurah Louisa here on the program. Of course, we'll be at the Wild Beaver Saloon coming up the March the 1st, almost to February, but it only has 29 days. March the 1st there, KKTC, True Country, HighTideCountry.net, the Sports Guys, the podcast.com. Live remote, live broadcast with all the artists having some drinks, having some fun at the Wild Beaver Saloon. March the 1st, Friday from 6 to 10. Be on the lookout for that too as well. A couple of great shows coming up tomorrow, and then a single show Friday. We'll call it a weekend next week too. Some great shows here on the Backstage Pass. Thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Until then, have a great night. Take care.